Now on your feet at 5, it is officially on. Cleveland's most competitive mayoral primary in well over a decade is happening right now. 7 candidates are on the ballot today. Here's the way this works. The top 2 finishers will move on to a general election that will be on November 2nd. That's when residents will get their first new mayor in 16 years. Today, however, it's all about turnout, and to help walk us through what we're seeing on the ground is our very own Mark Namick.
Okay, so 2.5 more hours, the polls are open. Turnout as a forecaster of the winner, is that true? Is it possible?
It gives us little hints.
Okay.
Right now, turnout is about 12%, which is lower than it was 4 years ago, which came in about 13, but we still have the afternoon rush that could make up a difference. That is concerning to the newer candidates. They kind of look to engage newer and younger voters out there, and it's going to be really close in the race so far.
Does it tell us anything about who may have an upper hand? I know it's tough to forecast at this point because we just don't have results, but you said it would benefit the older candidates.
If turnout is low. Now, we are seeing some of those hints, and that is in the near west side. Justin Bibb has been campaigning hard there. He has seen better than normal turnout in a couple of wards. But we're also seeing turnout really hard on the far west side. That's where Dennis Kucinich and Council President Kevin Kelly have been battling out. And we're seeing some pockets on the east side where Bashir Jones, who's a councilman, again, trying to engage the younger vote, and Zach Reed, former councilman, popping there. But overall, that number is still down, and that will make it tough to predict.
Okay, well, we've talked about people actually going to the polls. What about absentee ballots? Is this kind of the wild card in here? Because these were already handed in, they're going to be counted, and those numbers will be coming out a little bit later, right after the polls close. Does that change anything? Yeah,
those are good predictors. I know that Dennis Kucinich's campaign has really targeted the older voters. They like the absentee ballot, where Justin Bibb and Bashir Jones have tried to get people to go out and vote on Election Day. So if we see a big spike of numbers going for Dennis Kucinich at, probably get him around 8 p.m., that'll give us some sense of whether he did his job. And then we're going to have to sit and look and sift through those numbers. I think it will be a while before we know.
This isn't like a presidential election where the polls are giving us hints and indications. In your mind, are there 2 front runners?
There are 4 front runners, and I've been consistent on that. That also covers my bets.
Smart man, Mark.
But we have seen a cluster. We've seen Dennis Kucinich and Kevin Kelly. The newcomer, Justin Bibb, has definitely bumped his way in. And you know this is true because the other candidates started to attack him in negative ads. And Bashir Jones, Zach Reed could be there. We also have, the 6th major candidate, Sandra Williams, the state senator, the only woman. She has not shown up in the top 4 in the polls, but still has a decent base. There is a 7th candidate, Ross DeBello of West Park, who has not really had the infrastructure or the support to move on.
All right, Mark's back at 5:30. That's when he's going to tell us how this race doesn't just impact those in Cleveland. The mayoral race goes well beyond the city's borders, and we're going to talk about that in the next half hour.
Certainly matters to all of us.
So many implications.
Yeah, Mark,
Big
we'll see you
deal.
soon.
Thanks, Mark.